Since various training elements are so common in initiatives aimed at supporting capacity development, let's take a closer look at what effective training is. How do we know if a training has been effective? Most people will say that you give participants an evaluation sheet and allow them to fill it in, pen and paper, or using a link during the internet. And that's certainly one way, but there is more. The most commonly used model for evaluating training has 4 levels. And the very first level is all about participants' reactions. Typical questions would be, did the participants appreciate the event? Did they find the content relevant? Did they enjoy the methods used? All too often, this is the only thing being evaluated. And all too often, this favorable results is seen as effective, successful training. Nothing could be further from the truth. Appreciation alone does not equal training success. It is quite possible to participate in a training and find it boring and still have benefit from having attended. And it is equally likely to attend an event, find it charming and amusing, and not benefit from it at all. The second level is all about evaluating learning. Did participants learn what they were intended to learn? This is very easy to evaluate during an ongoing event. And the thing is, this is the minimum level for anybody being serious about their training. This is the minimum level for anybody with self-respect. Never, ever conduct a training without assessing one way or the other whether participants achieved the intended learning. This is what I hope to be your main takeaway from this video. I must evaluate learning. I must evaluate learning. How do I do that? Well, I'll soon tell you how. Funnily enough, there is a correlation between how much content participants are being presented with and how much, or in fact, how little they learn. So good content and appreciative participants can very well lead to very poor learning results. Now, the third level is all about whether participants applied what they learned. That's a little trickier because it cannot be evaluated in the training event. Participants need to be in their actual environments where they are expected to apply newly acquired skills. Respondents could be former training participants, but if behavior change has been significant enough, most likely their superiors, their colleagues, their clients, their family members will be able to tell. So respondents could come from a lot of different categories. The fourth and final level to evaluate is whether a whole organization, a whole entity of sorts, has changed for the better when enough people have applied what they learned in an event, regardless of if they appreciate it or not. So as you can see, participants' favorable reactions to an event cannot be given any significant value. In fact, I would like to ask you to be mindful about using phrases like participants appreciated the event without talking about learning or even application or organizational change. When I hear or read about participants' appreciation, do you know what I think? I go, amateurs. They haven't evaluated learning since they're bragging about appreciation. Or if they evaluated learning, they got poor results. Otherwise, they wouldn't be talking about appreciation because that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything significant in terms of capacity development, sustainable capacity development. So, since we are in the business of supporting capacity developments, we have to have an interest in the levels 3 and 4, application and organizational change. But the way to get there is through first ensuring that when we set up training events, that we at least achieve the intended learning.